tell us about London. What do you think London needs?
Oh, it needs a change, definitely. I've been on the London Assembly for 5 years, and my job has been to question Sadiq Khan, who's been the mayor in that time. And I think he's been an absolutely terrible mayor. I mean, not talking personally, just talking about his record and just talking about
Mm.
the situation in London, because the mayor is in charge essentially of two things, which is police and crime and transport. And in crime, violent crime has gone through the roof, spiraling out of control.
Yeah, I
Over
mean,
the last 5 years.
specifically with violent crime in London, can we be more specific on what the problem is there? I mean, is it just that random people in the street are just violent, or does it come from particular communities with a kind of particular ethos?
I think it does. I think there's many things you can say about it, but the statistics they show 50% increase probably across the board on all the sort of levels and indicators. But yeah, there are various reasons for it. I mean, one of the reasons is there are more gangs, and some of the gangs are migrant gangs. There's, with the politically correct parties would not even go there and mention it, but there was actually, interestingly, an article in the Evening Standard, which, is not very, it is a politically correct paper, but a couple of years ago, they did interview a young Somali migrant, I think,
Mm.
and he said, there's violence on a level that is unprecedented, because you got people coming in from Somalia and
Yeah.
Congo, from war zones where they're used to a level of violence that we haven't seen in the UK before, and they're bringing it to the streets of London in gangs. And I actually put that to the mayor, and he said that's a very dangerous thing to be saying, almost sort of accusing me of stirring up hatred, which is what they do when I sort of say anything that is true and correct, and actually try to put my finger on some of the causes of the problems. But there's no admission that there is a problem with migrant crime in London. What I would say sometimes black on black crime, because young black boys and young men are killing and stabbing each other more regularly than they were before. I mean, that is an issue, no question. And then that's also spilling out, into the wider community. So that is a problem. London's population and demographics have changed immensely over the last 20 years. When
Mm.
in 2000, there were 7 million people in London. Now there's 9 million. That's official. Actually, I think it's supposedly gone down this year because of COVID and so on, because a lot of Eastern Europeans
Yeah.
have gone back to Eastern Europe because there's no jobs for them to do anymore. But,
Yeah.
there's the demographics have changed a lot in London. So with new kinds of people coming in, there are new types of crime, and that hasn't been addressed, because it's politically incorrect to do so. Same thing as we've seen, up in Rotherham and Rochdale with the grooming gangs. There's no willingness to address the ethnic makeup of the perpetrators and the victims. And it's a similar thing in London as well. What I say is we need more stop and search targeted to the areas and the groups which are committing crimes, because then everyone will be safer. I mean, I don't want young black men to be going and stabbing and killing other young black men. I mean, who would want that?
No
No,
one.
so it
That's
just
a horrible future.
yeah,
Present, in fact, is a horrible present, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
So
So
you actually presaged something I was going to ask you on. Okay, so I completely agree with you. The problem appears to be ethnic gangs that have inter-gang wars. We've all seen videos of gang members stabbing each other in broad daylight on the streets of London. I
yeah,
mean, I've seen them chasing people into shops. There was a kid that was killed the other day just because, I mean, this happens over and over because it is a part of gaining cred in the gang, and it makes them cool and scary, and it seems to be a hell on earth as far as I'm concerned. And I looked into this a while ago. So under Boris Johnson's tenure, he brought in quite aggressive stop and search for knives, and crime went down, knife crime went down, and Sadiq Khan explicitly campaigned on a platform of that's racist and we're not going to do that. And knife crime just shot up under his tenure. So I take it we can safely assume that you're going to go back to the sort of we're actually going to do something about this mentality.
Yeah, absolutely. Stop and search is a very powerful and effective tool for cutting knife crime and violent crime. So I will implement it again. It's got to be intelligence led. It's got to be focused on the areas and the groups which commit violent crime. More. I mean, there's no point in stopping and searching little old ladies, for example. You've got to actually go in, to the sort of people who are in the gangs and likely to be in the gangs. And you've got to work on the basis that people are individually responsible for their actions. Not this like, oh, you're a certain characteristic and therefore it's not your fault. It's society's fault. If you go down that road, then people are not responsible, and you get the sort of wokery that's coming in that says, oh, if you commit a crime and you're black, it's because you're a victim of society and society is systemically racist and therefore white people are the source of all the problems and it's white supremacy and that's what's causing someone to choose to go out and stab someone. No, if you join a gang and you go and stab someone, that's your choice. You're responsible for your actions. And I know for some people, they've had a harder life, they've had a harder background. Of course, we all have different backgrounds. I mean, it hasn't been easy for me, but I am where I am. It's not easy for a lot of people, but you can't take away responsibility for your actions. So you've got to say that that's the case, and you can't sort of skip out on that. Otherwise, we just law and order breaks down, equality before the law breaks down. But things are harder. So for some people, we do need to address that. And in the black community, there's a much, much higher level of family breakdown.
Well, I see you've presaged my next question. Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. Because clearly you've looked into this very deeply and you've spent a lot of time thinking about it. And it sounds like you have the 2012 David Lammy opinion on the problem, the origin of the source of this problem. If you'd like to let me know what you think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is, again, something I questioned Sidiq Khan on. And I said, look, it's related to family breakdown. Even the people that did this interview I talked about with the standard, the black boys in the gangs, they said, look, we don't have fathers. Social media is our father, and then they get into gangs and then you've got a gang leader and they replace the role of the father in their life, but they're not positive, they're negative and they're destructive, So if kids, boys in particular, need fathers to show them how to be a good man, to bring them up, to be, a man who is honorable and is positive and constructive in society. If they don't have that, that's one of the basic indicators that shows if you don't have it, you're more likely to get involved in crime, destructive behaviors, drug abuse, depression, suicide. All of these things come from not having a proper, stable family. This is, everybody knows this, but it's denied by the politically correct wokerati, which is what you've got in charge of London. It's what you've got in the House of Commons, in charge of Westminster now as well. I don't see much difference between Tory and Labour in these things. They're both as politically correct as each other. But I did specifically question Sidiq Khan on this. There's a video there. I'm going to re-upload it, in a couple of days because it's very interesting. I said, look, this is the cause of it. Black kids, the family breakdown in the black community is much, much higher than the white community. And in the white community, it's much, much higher than in the Pakistani, Indian, Bangladeshi community. Their families are much more stable. And you've got there black boys, black young men are more likely to get into gangs than the other ethnic groups in society in London. And he was his usual condescending self. And he said to me, I don't agree with your thesis. And, just went on,
But the evidence is overwhelming. That's the thing. Yeah. Just simply saying, I don't agree, that's not good enough. We need answers. Okay, Sidiq, what is it? What's causing it? And of course, he'll just say racism. And it's like, okay, well, the racism of a city that in 2011 was minority English and is governed by a man of Pakistani descent. It's like, where is the racism here? It's a very progressive city. And if it's full of racism, isn't that condemnation of progressivism?